And we should be live with that. Let me get everything set up. All right, I am live, and thank you for everyone that has joined the special holiday stream. And I will be your host for a while, as long as this goes on. Thank you to the people that are in the chat. If you could please leave a like on the stream, as always, that'd be greatly appreciated. And just a reminder that super chats and all that stuff are on. So what is up, MKSM? It's been a long time, buddy. I missed having you around. So hopefully, the reason I was a couple seconds late is I was just finishing up the touches on the studio because I wanted it to be like a little bit different this year. Because usually I don't spizzazz it up at all, which means I'm going to be stuck down here because I should have put the decorations, I guess, lower. But it is what it is, and I think it looks good for what I threw together. But I wanted to see if there's a couple comments in here pre-stream. It looks like there is. Dante Toshiro says, "What is your favorite character to play in Soul Calibur, and what is your favorite holiday?" Hey, Athen, what's up? My favorite character to play in Soul Calibur. My favorite character to play as is probably, if you're talking about 6, probably Gro. My favorite character in Soul Calibur is Hwang Sung-young. And the character I used the most prior to Gro in Soul Calibur 7 was Mitsurugi. But as we know, he's been changed a lot in this game, so it's a little bit harder to get a grip on how to play as him. Thanks, MKSM. I appreciate it. And my favorite holiday, as a kid or as an adult, because like as a child, my favorite holiday was probably Christmas, just because of the time of year and the feeling and all that stuff. But as I've gotten older, I don't really celebrate holidays anymore. Like my family's all spread all over the place, and after getting married, we've just been trying to save up for a house and stuff like that. So I'm sure we will again at some point. But if we're going by the default answer, it's probably this time of year, to be fair. I haven't live streamed in a while. There are reasons beyond that. And I'm still looking for a stream master to go ahead and do all these streams and set all this stuff up. You can inquire with that in the Discord, which link is in the description below. What is up, Solar Flare? Ho, ho, ho. Nothing much. So hopefully we have some good questions we can start talking about during the stream. I don't want to cut it early. I want to go as long as we can because I ain't got nothing better to do today. Sorry about the ums too. I forgot all my streaming etiquette because it's been like 2 months, I think, since I've streamed. Some people were asking why I haven't streamed. The primary function of me... Hey, what's up, Sir Blaze Fire? The primary reason I haven't streamed as much is because it's really hard to weigh the different benefits of streaming over like making video content. Sometimes the algorithm in YouTube has like 2 different sets of like, you know, video types they want to support. Well, 3 now because of shorts. Just drinking some beer. I wish I was drinking some beer. Yeah, so if you make video content, then you'll get put into the category of video content. If you do live streams, you get put into the category of live streaming. There goes one of the light strings. And vice versa. I'm wondering if I should even get that or just let it go. I think I should just let it go. Who cares? And shorts are the same thing. So when I was doing live streams every Saturday, I was getting put in a precarious situation where my videos were not getting as pushed out there as my live streams were, which I wouldn't normally mind because my subscriber base has been steadily growing. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. I think the biggest cause was doing it every week. I had to find different guests every week to be on, unless I'm just talking to myself. And sometimes the guests wouldn't show up, or sometimes they wouldn't even let me know ahead of time that they were not going to come. They would just straight up come in and they would just leave. So got some Hot Pockets to munch on while we chill. Awesome. First question I can think of is favorite holiday food. Everybody that knows me is I'm kind of a weirdo. Like, I don't really like eating. Like, I don't eat a lot. I typically eat like one time per day, which is, I know, a juxtaposition to my body size, but that's just a lack of exercise overall. Probably my favorite food is to eat. I mean, it's probably a toss up between like Korean, Mexican, and Italian. My least favorite foods are probably Indian. I don't like Indian food that much. But I do for the holidays enjoy maybe pumpkin pie. Like a slice of pumpkin pie is always great. I turkey is always good, but I only eat like white meat turkey and I don't eat anything on the bones, so no like legs or wings or thighs. I know I'm weird, I told you. Like my food taste, I try to be very experimental with my mixture of food. So I eat a lot of vegetables and stuff like that. But when it comes to like meats and stuff, it's really hard for me to eat meat that's still connected to the bone, if that makes any sense. So I usually like have to have it presented in a certain type of way. And I don't like try to push it on anybody. I know I'm weird for being that way, but it makes things hard when you're in like, family get-togethers. But like I said, I haven't had a family get-together in over 10 years. So they're all doing their own thing this year. Oh yeah, I love veggies. There's nothing wrong with that. Like my dad, I think is at my brother's house, and then I think he's going to my sister's afterwards, and then my aunt's. So he's pretty busy. We all live in different states too, so that's a different thing. So it's kind of hard for us all to get together. How am I liking figs? I've never had a fig, unless you're talking about like the Fig Newton cookies. I've never had like an actual fig. I think with me right now, I got some cashews if I get hungry, but I haven't eaten yet today. I don't know if I will eat. Maybe later I'll make myself a taco or something like that, or like a burrito. But there's nothing really too much going on. I just wanted to come here and chill with you guys because it's been a while since I've done a live stream. And I know I talk to you guys, most of you guys that are already in Yoon-Fam. I talk to you on Discord all the time and in the comment section. But let's try this new here. So I did get a couple Christmas gifts this year. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit. I'm not doing this from StreamYard, so I can't share like pictures or videos or anything like that because YouTube doesn't allow that. But I wanted to go with the aesthetic background. So I wanted the higher picture quality because StreamYard's picture quality inherently is garbage unless like you actually have the paid for version, which is like $20 a month. And I'm not shelling that out because I only make like maybe like $150 every 2 months on YouTube. So making like $85 a month and then like paying $20 into that when I already paid for all the other stuff is not really feasible right now until my channel gets a little bit bigger. But yeah, is there any other questions that you guys have like pertaining to holidays? Yeah, StreamYard is $20 a month for accessing all the features, which is getting rid of the watermark, allowing more than like 6 people, I think, to be a part of the group chat at once. I think it allows up to 20. You get HD resolution, which isn't even really HD. It's still like, I think, 720p upscaled, basically 1080i. I know some people say it's 1080p, but the way that it compresses and the way that it shares to YouTube does not end up being that. It does not do 4K. And then on top of that, you are allowed to customize like your backgrounds and stuff like that when you're doing the multiple people chats, which usually you can't. That's why sometimes you'll see people with a background when their pictures are up because they have the paid for version. Do I stay away from spices in food? No. The funny thing is like, first of all, I love Korean food and Mexican food, and both of those can have spice to them. They can pack some heat. The problem that lies is like last year or 2 years ago, I think it was 2 years ago, when I was teaching, I got COVID from a student. And then as a result of COVID, I had a tongue infection. And it's called like white tongue. It's where this like certain kind of bacteria like lives off of the sugars that are in your mouth on your tongue, no matter how good your oral hygiene is. And what a byproduct of that is called something called burning tongue, which literally, if I would eat like ketchup, my tongue would be on fire. Like I would almost cry. That's how bad it was. So I had to get that treated with like antibiotics and a bunch of stuff like that. And ever since then, my tongue has not been really able to handle any kind of spice. Like at Taco Bell, I put like the fire packets on my like tacos, and now I can't even do that. Like now, like the cheesy gordita crunch, like the regular spicy ranch, like burns my tongue. So I think once that's all healed up, because I think it's like the membranes that are on top of my taste buds were kind of like sanded down by the cacnea or whatever it was called. I forget the certain type of bacteria. So as soon as that goes away completely, I'll be able to start packing some spice in again. But yeah, as far as like my non-affinity towards Indian food, I just don't like the types of spices that they use. I just don't like the flavor profile. But I still love curry and stuff, like, because I don't know if you know, but Koreans and Japanese people, they make curry as well. It's more mild. It's not as hot most of the time, but I do enjoy that as well a lot. I'm usually up here like more. It's kind of weird that I'm so low. Maybe I can like raise my chair up. This is all stuff I should have did like before stream. Mexican food is your third favorite? I love Mexican food. It depends though, because like I'm so like washed that and sorry I didn't shave today either. Like it's been a crazy couple days. But like whenever I go to like a good like actual like Mexican restaurant and I get like a taco or something and they give me just like the little corn shell with like with a little bit of carnitas or a little bit of steak and then some basil and some lemon juice. I'm like, nah, bro, where's my sour cream? Where's my my cheese? Where's my like my tomatoes and all that stuff? So, oh, Thai food is amazing. I love Thai food. If you're gonna get Thai food, try pad praw gras, which is chicken basil, and that's basically chicken on top of like vegetables. And there's like a really nice sauce, like a basil-y spicy sauce, and it's not super spicy. It's like it's actually like almost sweet and spicy. And that's called you can use the English term like chicken basil, but I believe the actual Thai name for it is pad praw gras. And that's amazing. That's my favorite. I love that like Thai cuisine too. Like I said, I'm not like super picky or finicky. There's not much that I stay away from. It's just as you get older, like your flavor profiles and your consistency profiles change, and then like you just kind of adapt to like whatever the new norm is. So stuff that I loved when I was a kid, I don't necessarily like now, and I eat a lot more variation in my diet than I used to. But that goes par for the course, I guess, with getting older. So how are you guys? How's the holiday been treating you guys? Solar for 95 says Chinese food is my favorite. American Chinese food. I mean, yeah, because that's not Chinese food. That's not like actual Szechuan Chinese food. Like American Chinese food is just packed with salt and MSG and oil and grease. We had conversations about this before during our members play sessions. Like it's hard for me to stomach it. Sometimes I have to like literally go out of my way to prepare for the rest of the night after I eat that, because I just feel so crappy after I eat it. Like it's delicious. Like who doesn't want like some General Tso's or some sweet and sour chicken or some like beef and broccoli or beef and green beans or something? But it's so like oily. You can get some, I mean, it's so Americanized that you can get pizza egg rolls. So, I mean, that's not, it's fusion food. But I mean, a lot of people, fusion food is their jam. Like, and I'm not going to hate on them. Like, there's some, like, I just talked about tacos, like the real tacos not having sour cream and like cheese and stuff. So I have no room to talk or complain about that whatsoever. Sir Blaze Fire says, true, I had butter chicken with onion and bell peppers. Yeah, it's delicious. Your Christmas was good. That's good. Slurfry says that's what makes it so good. Yeah. But I mean, the older I get, I try to stay away from that much grease because like it really doesn't work well with my stomach. Pizza egg rolls, I've never had them. Well, they're not technically egg rolls, they're just called pizza rolls, but it's like mozzarella cheese and like sauce, like marinara, and like one of those deep fried like rolls that the egg rolls come in. And they're pretty bomb, I'm not gonna lie, but they're certainly not like, you know, traditional like Cantonese or mainland food. Have I ever been to PF Chang's? Yeah, I've been to PF Chang's. I think my favorite when it comes to chains is probably Panda Express, but Panda Express, it has like no variety. But they do have this really nice like almond peanut chicken, which is good. You barely eat fried stuff. Well, it's not great, so. It depends on what it is too, because sometimes I'll do like a breaded, sautéed like oven pan, which is basically deep frying it in oil, with olive oil, eggplant, and that's pretty good. Oh yeah, so I was going to mention that. So I did get some Christmas gifts this year. Mark Polton, who I work with a lot, who is a award-winning comic book writer. I'm an artist, for those of you who are new and don't know that. He got me the Power Rangers Shattered Grid entire graphic novel, which is amazing because I've been meaning to read that. And I think like I was talking to him about it one time. We were in a comic store together, and the fact that you remembered that was like really nice. And then Solar Flare 95 sent me a box of Marvel Legends figures, which you could actually like, that's the last video on my channel. So if you wanted to hop over to my channel and check that video out, that's a pretty cool video. I did an unboxing of it. There was like Anti-Venom. You can see a lot of them right over there. Like the bottom two, like there's like my Spider-Man rack, and there's my Marvel like MCU rack. Like the X-Man he got me, but that was a while ago. This time he gave me the Scarlet Spider, Symbiote Spider-Man, Anti-Venom, and also, what else was there? Thor, Iron Man, Captain America, and a Godzilla figure, which is up there, but I can't pan the camera up there that high to see it. Yeah, Anti-Venom's awesome. I'm a huge Symbiote fan. I don't know if any of you guys play Marvel Strike Force, the mobile game, but I'm the leader of the group Symbiotes Unite. It's a private group, but if you send me an invite and let me know your tag, you can get in. But yeah, all the symbiotes are my jam. I love them ever since like the 1980s when the Secret War saga was going on, when Spider-Man got the black costume. I know that's been like since retcon, but like that's just giving you an age point. I was gonna wear the Santa hat today, like I did last year, but like, you know, what's funny that you mentioned that, Matt, is that that Godzilla that you got me is actually the same exact Japanese Godzilla that I had before. Like I literally had the same exact one before I got married, before I sold a bunch of my stuff. So it's actually nice to have that back. I had that, and I also had the vinyl version, the hard plasticky version of the Mecha Godzilla. Hey, what's up, Fox Alive? How you doing? Well, yeah, when I saw the Captain America in there, I got a little worried because like I already have a Captain America, but mine actually is from, I think, the first Avengers movie, and yours is from Age of Ultron. So they have completely different costumes. I don't know if you can see it from up here, from behind it, but it's got like no, you can hardly see it. It's like right next to Thor. You can see that metallic banner that's right next to him. Probably not. But yeah, I'm just in here with you guys chilling today. If you guys have any topics you want to actually bring up or talk about, like I'm game. We should turn off this space heater because it's getting kind of hot in here. Oh, that's better, and it's quieter too. Has everybody that's in the stream liked the stream so far? If you have not, I would greatly appreciate it. I'm sure YouTube is not putting this out there, and probably a ton of other like content creators are probably doing streams today too. So I'm sure that mine's not going to be on top priority. Sulfur says, what is your favorite thing to dress for as Halloween? Well, I've been dressed up for Halloween in like maybe like 15 to 20 years. Oh, that's awesome, Atherin. I got to add you because a bunch of us have Switch. I believe Solarflare has one. I have one. Dave. A bunch of us do, which is Soul Blaze. My favorite. So, but back when I used to dress up, like when I was a kid, I never really dressed up because like I had to take care of my younger brothers and sisters a lot. So a lot of times I was like the chaperone that was just like going out with them. Even though we're pretty close in age, like my parents had to work a lot, so I usually got stuck with trick or treat duty. So I never really went out as my friend, as like myself. When I was an adult, like I had a bunch of Halloween parties that I would like throw with my friends. And a couple times I dressed up. I think one year I dressed up as like Wolverine. Another year I dressed up as Sasuke, the like pre-Shippuden version because Shippuden wasn't out yet. And then another time I was Venom, but it was like I think like the Spider-Man 3 Venom. I know, don't at me for that. Thank you, Sword Blaze. I feel like I'm off my game with coming up with topics because you guys know from my streams I usually have like a topic I'm raring to go into. Oh, you're on the family plan too? Awesome. So yeah, just DM me your friend code and I'll DM it back to you. I'll DM you mine because I think we have to add each other. MKSM says I need to snipe an OLED Switch or I could just emulate it, but that defeats the purpose. Yeah, I mean, I never went up to the OLED Switch because I don't think it's like worth it enough right now to like upgrade. I'll just wait for like the next version of Switch. Like not like this Switch. I'm waiting for like a Switch Pro or like a Switch 2 or something like that. Dressed up as a classic horror fan. Isn't that like what you do every day? We'll just all dress up as like Motohiro Okubo for Halloween this year. If I could only eat one thing for the rest of my life, what would it be? Probably the same answer as everybody else. Probably pizza. It depends. Like, is it one thing that's like stuck by those like restraints, or like can I actually like add toppings and stuff? Because if that's the case, then I definitely go for pizza. But okay, Sam says, yeah, I'm still a bit pissed. There's just a bigger Switch with a new screen, and that's it. Yeah, it's got a bigger, more sturdy kickstand. That's about it. I mean, like, it wasn't like I said, it was nowhere near enough of a jump for me to like warrant upgrading my wife and my Switch. So I was literally just like, we'll just wait. It's not like it plays any different games either. Like when I got the new 3DS, for example, I was forced to because like I think Xenosaga or Xenogears, it's one of those. Like it was only on the new Nintendo Switch and it wasn't supported by the other 3DS. So at that point, I had to upgrade. But there's no really reason for it's not a must that you need to upgrade to the OLED. It's great if you get it as your first console, but I don't really think there's a reason to upgrade to it. I sent it and can just accept you from friend request. All right, yeah, I'll get on that as soon as I get on my Switch, probably after the stream. It's true, we all dress up as horror fans. I'm gonna actually try and see if there's like
powering on. Battery is full.
Royalty-free Christmas music we can listen to while we're chilling.
Charging.
Hopefully it's actually royalty-free and doesn't get me like
Paired.
the stream stun locked. Jen's sleeping. I don't really want to wake him up. I try to make sure that he sleeps when he wants now that he's like older. All right, we're listening to Winter Lo-Fi Music Mix 2021, no copyright Lo-Fi Christmas music. So hopefully this does not get the stream shot, but it shouldn't. Like if he comes and cries at the door, then I'll just definitely grab him. But as far as right now, I just want to let Jin sleep. Hopefully this music picks up for you guys. You can hear it. I can show you a picture of him, if that helps. Ask me some questions and stuff, homies. Here's my good boy. Let me open the phone so it's actually the full picture. It's my little buddy. My favorite song, Lo-Fi Music for Stream, no copyright, 2021 YouTube edition. Solar Fire asked a biology question, which I'm game for. Why is it certain species live much longer than others? Well, in the past it was medicine, but now it's mainly based on two different factors. The first form factor is metabolism. So metabolism is not just the rate at which you grow. It actually is your cells, body fluids pumping through your body and stuff, which makes your heart beat a lot faster. Hey, Silver Grimoire, what is up? So obviously if your heart's beating faster, there's your heart's just a muscle, right? So there's only a certain amount of times it can beat in a lifetime. And that depends on the size of the animal's heart, the size in comparison to its body, its relative size, also how active that animal is. And then that leads into cardiovascular issues as well. So a lot of like, let's say domestic house cats or like dogs tap out at around like 20. It's usually around like 14 to 20. But that's also because they're inside, so they're not as prone to disease. When they're outside, their life expectancy is half that. If a cat's an outdoor cat, its life expectancy is about 8 years. It's going to get caught with like, cat AIDS, or it's going to get caught with like some kind of other disease, a cardiomyopathy, cardiomyopathy. Can eat something that's bad. There's a lot of stuff that goes on with that. Like that's why humans back in the day only lived to about the early 30s, maybe 40 at the most. It's basically because we didn't have modern medicine to fight off a lot of the diseases that we would get. So we would even die off from like the common cold. So it's not specifically like based on the animal's like form structure. It's more based on lifestyle and also based around whatever biological imperatives are already there at play. So like we can't really help metabolism, right? That's something that you actually can't help. Merry Christmas to you too. Same thing when it comes to other animals. Like they need exercise and stuff too. So if your cat or your dog is pretty sedentary and just like sleeps all day, they need exercise just as much as we do. I hope that answered your question a little bit. And the second part that I was talking about was the telomere structure. So if some of you guys are saying, okay, this is Christmas and we shouldn't be talking about telomeres, but let me finish answering the question, and then we'll move on to another question. What a telomere is at the end of every DNA strand, there is a tail that is called the telomere strand. That telomere strand is actually the genetic structure that actually, heals DNA after it reproduces. So when your cells like split, right, or your cells divide or clone themselves, as does everything, that telomere tail actually shrinks a bit because it uses up some of the genetic structure to heal or repair any of the damage that was presented from that structure. And that's why when we age, the tails get less and it appears like we're aging and getting older, simply because our cells are being reproduced with a lot more damage. It's not as healthy as like youthful cells when they split. So you get older and older and older and older. telomere structure slims down, and then that starts affecting your stuff, your way your organs work and stuff like that. So when they say dying of old age, that's what that means. Sir Blaze Fire says, okay, do you hate today's mainstream music? Yeah. I mean, here's the thing too. There's actually science behind that too, though, Sir Blaze, because I don't fault like Zoomers or anything like that for like whatever kind of trap rap music they want or whatever they want. When you're a child and you're growing up, they say that like that's the youngest time for you to absorb the most information, right? This goes without saying whether it's learning a language, building bonds with people, learning something habitual subjects and stuff like that help you in the long run. And while your brain is exposed to all this, you're starting to develop your set of what the world is and your own values for your brain. So like if I see like, let's say a pretty girl when I'm like young, that's probably going to impact my psyche later on of what I feel like the ideal girl is, for example. And the same thing happens to that with music. The music that we grow up around and listen to becomes the music that we see as the people that copyright, that put like monetize things on these copyright streams really piss me off. But anyway, what gets put into our brain from a young age of what we're listening to at the time is what we view as good music. That's why every generation thinks the next generation's music is garbage. Like my grandfather, for example, was all about like Frank Sinatra and stuff like that. And he thought stuff I listened to, like Perfect Circle, 30 Seconds to Mars, like stuff like that, Tool, 9 Inch Nails. He thought all that stuff was like garbage, right? Or just noise. It's a similar factor. It's like, it's not necessarily that music is actually objectively bad. It's more over the fact that my brain has constituted and hardwired to me that like I do not get enjoyment out of music except for outside these guidelines and boundaries. So since I grew up in the early 80s, I was a teenager and the most susceptible during the early 90s. So a lot of that early 90s stuff tends to be like what I view as like good music. And there has been a bunch of bands that came out in the late 2000s and stuff that I still like I love like Asking Alexandria. Like there's a bunch of stuff that's newer that's come out, but mainstream pretty much today is all like copies of music that's already been, done in the past. And I can see why people like it. For me, it's just like no longer, I guess, no longer applicable to me, not for like who I've built myself or what my brain is built up to be. Yeah, of course, Frank Sinatra's classic, but I'm not really into that style of music either. I do listen to rap too. Don't get me wrong. Like one of my favorite songs of all time is like All I Need by like Method Man and Mary J. Blige. But like I like old rap, like original rap, like Wu-Tang and like Method Man and stuff like that. Like as soon as like Jay-Z and like the new age second wave rappers came out, like 50 Cent and Kanye and stuff like that, I was out of the game at that point. The only like modern rappers I actually liked are still old school rappers, probably like Busta Rhymes and Twista. But I generally go for like rock, metal, alternative. I listen to a lot of K-pop, but that's because my wife's Korean. Beyond that, like of course I like anime too, so like I'm always gonna have like my anime side too. Yeah, Wu-Tang Clan has nothing to mess with. That's true, Sir Blaze. Very, very true. And that was an apt response. I think it's the only response that was probably necessary to that. Oh, you heard it from the Joker? I didn't even watch the Joker movie because I'm not a big fan of the Joker. Neither is Solar Flare. We've had conversations about this. I think he's played out and his character has been done with what it can be done with, and anything else on it is now just a variation of that character. I like heavy metal, death metal, and thrash metal. See, I can listen to death metal and thrash metal. The thing is that like when I listen to metal, I also like the choruses to be sung. I like some kind of harmonization. So I like screaming during the verses, but singing with screaming in the actual chorus. So when it comes to death metal and thrash metal, a lot of time that I can't listen to it too much unless I'm in the actual mood is because there's no harmonics going on whatsoever. Hey, Dante, what's up? It's straight up just screaming the whole time, and that's a little bit too much for me to bear. Yeah, Solar Flare. Yeah, Slayer's good. I mean, like I said, I can like if I'm in the mood for that stuff, Pantera's great too. If I'm in the mood for that stuff, then yeah. But I've like become more of a chill. Like, I mean, I've always been a fan of like Typo Negative and like Tool and A Perfect Circle, like the melodical kind of rock. And like when it comes to screams, like maybe more into the screamo genre than like anything, because I do like a lot of like harmonies. Maybe it's because I'm a singer, but I like a lot of harmonies in my music. So if it's just like straight up screaming the whole time, I might not get as much out of it as I normally would with like another genre, for example. But I still don't hate on it. Like, I can be in the mood for that stuff too. For me, I have a specific taste in music, mostly the lyrics and the beat of it. Yeah, I mean, music is to different people different stuff. It's not like a blanket, you know. Yeah, melodies and harmonies are what gets me. So if you have like a double bass drum set going, and you have like, you know, a fast paced like 2-step bass, or like a drop D, like maybe like a metal like guitar with like solid riffs, and some dude's screaming, and it goes right from that scream into the chorus, which is like actual singing with like screams, just the accent, like the ending words, like the phrases. That's what gets me, because that just hypes me up like more than nothing else. 80s music that I listen to is more like not the metal from the 80s, maybe like Duran Duran and like Journey and like stuff like that. But I mean, I have to be in the mood to listen to that stuff. Like, I got to be in the mood to listen to a lot of music. That's the thing. I also really like trance music, for example. So if you give me like a good like club trance song, then I'm good. I'm not as big into dance music or house music. I specifically like trance, but yeah. Matt says, out of all the songs I showed you on YouTube, which is your favorite? If you're too drunk to remember them, it's cool. Laugh out loud. I probably was, but I did download one, so that probably just inadvertently wins because I downloaded it. Let me see if I can bring up my music app while YouTube's on. Yeah, 90s did play a lot of that, but I'm not really like too big of a fan of house. Like I said, it's definitely just trance is like my go-to. Psycho Stick, two-tone, what's the full one of it? 2-ton paperweight. That's like the one that I downloaded, so I'm assuming that that's the one that I like the most. Yeah, there was a in the 90s, there was a station where I grew up in New Jersey. That was a Philadelphia radio station called Q102. And now it only plays popular music, but in the early 2000s and late 90s, it played nothing but like trance and dance music and like remixes of like pop songs. But it slowly turned into popular music, which made way, and now it's just like rap. Which again, I don't mind all the time, but like I said, a lot of stuff is built upon past stuff, and it's hard for me to get into stuff without like hearing the old stuff from which it came. And then I usually just go back to the stuff from which it came because it usually does a better job of it. But there's no right or wrong way to interpret music. There's really not. Like, I've had a lot of conversations with my friends who like only listen to rap, and they're like, "Well, I like rap because of like the lyrics and stuff like that." I'm like, "Yeah, that's great." Like, a lot of stuff I do too. Modern more seems to be satirical or parody of itself than it was in the past. But I generally like the harmonics, like mixed with like instrumentals and stuff. Like actually playing instruments and not just like, you know, some producer like Max Martin in like Sweden, like selling his beats to like some producer here who just like assigns one of the rappers in her label to just like make music on top of it, which is what happens now. I was never a huge fan of him, Solar Flare. I didn't like his voice. It sounded like a cross between like Mickey Mouse and like Ray Romano. Yeah, instrumentals are, especially for vibing. Like when I'm drawing a lot, I'll listen to like instrumental music, like the Last Samurai soundtrack or the John Wick soundtrack. A lot of like OSTs and soundtracks because I don't get distracted by because I have ADHD. So like if somebody's singing, sometimes I can get into the music and get distracted and not even notice I'm drawing and make mistakes. Yeah, because it lets your brain just wander. That's the same reason why I like trance music so much, though. It's like the same thing. Oh my god, these commercials are killing me. You know what, guys? I'm trying to do like holiday music, but I'm just gonna do my music because it's mine that I created, and that way we're not gonna get hit with copyright, and we don't have to deal with commercials because I don't think anyone likes dealing with commercials. That's probably better. Just let that play. What about you guys? Do you have like, are you guys doing Christmas dinner tonight or something? Like with the family? Or are you pretty much all done out in the festivities? Because every family's got their own like traditions. You overplayed Sonic's 06 and Final Boss theme. The soundtrack that I probably listen to the most is probably Fire Emblem Awakening. That's the soundtrack I listen to a lot. That and like Final Fantasy VIII soundtrack. You're done cooking, but have you guys eaten yet? Oh, tell your brother I said what's up, Matt. Even though we got the decorations, I might actually lower this a bit just so I'm more in the frame. Yeah, I think that's better. We still got some lights going on, some candy canes. We're good. You'll have pie later. Merry Yoon, miss to all. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I don't even know if I'm having dinner tonight. I'm probably just gonna make like a taco if my wife makes beef. Because she makes this certain beef that I like for my tacos and quesadillas and stuff, where she'll take like ground beef and she'll add a little bit of soy sauce. And then she also chops onions, green peppers, and something else and mixes it into it. So I can just add like different seasonings and go straight to the quesadilla shells. Or hard taco shells if I'm in the mood. Or sometimes both, making a cheesy gordita crunch. But usually in the morning, I have like vitamins, and then I have like that vitamin C powder stuff. The emergency. So I have like emergency. I take a bunch of vitamins, and then like I usually take a meal replacement shake or something like that. But I don't. I haven't been able to afford it for a while because it's kind of expensive. So I haven't had that in a couple months. Phase 2 theme goes with Super Saiyan transformations. When you say Solaris, like my brain just straight up goes to like Marvel. So I don't know like which Solaris. You mean the theme from Sonic 06? I have Sonic 06, but like I don't know if I've played it. I have it on. Do I have it on Xbox 360 or PS3? I think PS3, but I haven't played it yet. I've heard only bad things about it, but I'm not sure if those are true or not. I usually try to make up my own mind about that kind of stuff. Gotta stop shaking my camera. Anyone else have any more conversation to bring up? Literally, it could be about anything. Doesn't have to be holiday themed. But I might have some of this later. I got this this Starbucks hot cocoa, and this stuff is pretty bomb. So I'll probably have some of that later if I'm in the mood for some kind of holiday type feel. All the bad things I hear about Sonic 06 are 100% true. Yeah, I mean, I'll play it eventually, just so I can make up my own mind on it, but I haven't had the opportunity, and my backlog is so long at this time. Like, well, obviously it's big. My backlog goes back to like 360, so. This needs to be a little bit higher, I think. Yeah, that's good. The Sonic music. I can see that. Gameplay is good, but the soundtrack is good. Yeah, I've heard a lot of that stuff. But like I said, I usually don't go 100% with what people say. If I'm interested in a game, I'll get it and I'll try it myself. I do have Sonic 06. I just haven't played it yet. I might have booted it up like once and played like the first level, but that's the one where the first level's got the Orca, right? Because I saw that in the trailer, and I think that's like the whole reason why I got the game in the first place. I think I played Sonic Mania after that, like a lot. I just do what I can, Sir Blaze. There's only one way to live, and that's just being true to yourself, I guess. Would I still be down for that One Piece review discussion show we were talking about? Yeah, I just got to find some time to actually start watching One Piece. I might actually start it, like, around when the movie Red comes out. That way, like, it'll be topical instead of just, like, coming out of nowhere. And I might try to mix it into, like, having a one-day-a-week thing where, like, I just talk about anime. That way, like, people know where they're coming from on that specific day. Yeah, Sir Blaze. I'm the same way. As long as, like, my opinion doesn't counteract with, like, objective reality or, like, object fact, then, like, it's usually pliable for me. But I tend to not go against, like, things that are already established. People much smarter than me have come up with those things. Yeah, no problem. You should get a camera though, Solar Flare. It'd be a lot easier to do it with you if like we could do it on StreamYard with a camera instead of just like no audio. I mean, just audio. I'm also a little bit worried because like I know Toei has been like taking people's channels down for like even talking about it with slideshows pictures. So I'm a little bit worried about Toei, but we'll see. I'm watching that situation closely and seeing how it pans out. Because, like, I know, like, Totally Not Mark had, like, more than 150 videos, like, removed from his channel overnight. Man, you got a girlfriend. That's enough. Who cares? Why is this crooked now? Sorry about all the camera stuff, guys. Just trying to get it framed properly. Yeah, it's crazy, right? That's why I stopped talking about Pokemon. If you guys go back on my channel a couple years, I used to cover Pokemon stuff, but every single one of videos that like I would make would get like demonetized or blocked or like I'm like, it's not worth it. So I just don't even talk about them anymore. Like I don't cover Nintendo stuff, and I stay away from anime if I can, especially from like Toei and like Funimation, because those people like to straight up just block and nuke your channel. People brag about significant others. I'd be like, hush. It's not hard to get one. Just go get one. Girls are just dudes, dude. They're easy to talk to. You just treat them like an equal. A lot of people treat them like they're like this mystical like unicorn. It's like they need to talk to them with kid gloves and stuff. Nintendo is the same with all the copyright stuff. Yeah, definitely. You said no, they're not. Yeah, they are. Chicks are just dudes. Like, have you ever actually talked to like a girl? And like, not in that way. I'm not talking about like in a mean way. I'm just saying like, if you just like literally talk to a girl that you're not attracted to, like, and you're both not playing this stupid game of like, you know, who can lie better or convince each other the most. Girls have all the same interests and stuff that you're gonna have. There's metalhead chicks out there. There's like, look at Linda Lee. Linda Lee like is a metalhead like chick who's smart and hot, and she like builds Gundams and stuff. Like, I mean, like they have the same interests that we do. Any like one of those pickup artists that tries to give you some kind of like bullshit routine about how to like, you know, talk down to them or get them to like, you know, they don't like nice guys or something like that. That's all BS. The only time you get yourself into a situation where there's a differential is when you're playing the social game. So if you're like actually interested in dating a girl and she's interested in dating you, then you guys are going to objectively play a game. You're going to try to convince each other the reasons why that you should be like selected. And there's a whole like social science aspect behind it. But if you're like not in that situation, girls are just literally the same as dudes. Athen, we're probably going to end the stream in like 5 minutes. I mean, you could do both, Sir Blaze. You can focus on yourself and focus on finding someone at the same time, or just let it happen. Hey, Brian, how you doing? Merry Christmas to you too. If you're like not in the headspace to like meet people in that facet, then by all means don't. But I think a lot of times people blame their problems on outside sources as opposed to just looking at it objectively and then making decisions from there. The whole nice guys finish last thing Matt says is BS. My lady likes me for who I am, and that's enough. I mean, there's like if they're playing the game, then like no, right? If they're being real, which there's a ton of them out there that are just real, but if they're being real, then like that's a thing. Nah, shout out to you, buddy. My whole thing is like I just don't play that game. I mean, I'm married now. I've been married for like almost 11 years, so that's bygone news. But back when I was in the dating pool, if somebody just like, came off to me as fake, I just like stopped talking to them and talked to somebody who like was like I'd become friends with some of them, but this is also back when I had abs, so maybe that had something to do with it too. We might do a members play session for like an hour after the stream. if you guys are up for it. I'm not 100% certain yet. Depends on how many people we get. Wish I could give myself a green boy to get the chat going. All right, so like I said, Solarflare, it just depends because I'm tired, and it depends on if there's going to be other people. Because me and you will end up playing like all night, and I would not have the energy for that today. I'm like super tired. I could literally go back to sleep. I think it's been raining all day here. It's like super dark and gloomy outside. It's been pouring rain like all day. So usually when it's this kind of weather, like I don't know, bro. I'm a battery, so like I just shut down. But we will see how I feel. There's a possibility. But as for the stream, guys, I think we're going to end it here. And I want to thank you guys for stopping by and chatting, and those of you who are in the actual stream. You said last Christmas I gave you green boys, but the very next day YouTube took them away. Oh, are you singing the song from last Christmas? Yeah. Well, you sent me a gift, so it's not like I'm not even looking for that. You're like one of the only people this year that actually sent me a gift, so. But I actually changed around my entire background for it. Like, I don't know if you guys can see before we get off the stream, but so I have the Pokemon stuff in the middle as well as the pops because like I don't know why they were on the end because I felt like the stuff that was getting blocked was like the better stuff, like my Super Saiyan 4 collection. That was always like in the center where this Lugia is. And it was getting blocked like the entire time in every video, and I hated that. So I moved then to the end, and I put the Legends figures like the next to each other down at the bottom where the Pokemon used to be. And I put the DC, what are they? They're not Legends. What are they called, Matt? What are the DC versions of Legends called? Those ones. I forget what they're called. Are they Masterpieces? Is that like DC Masterpiece? I forget what it's called. But if you guys like the stream and you are cool with the topics of conversation that we're having, then you can feel free to join the Discord. The links are always in all my description boxes. Or consider subscribing or joining DC Multiverse. That's it. Consider subscribing or joining the Yoon-Fam. I have tiers as low as 99 cents a month. It helps you gain access to playing with me one-on-one and with a group of people and doing videos with me and a bunch of other stuff. So if that's up your alley, feel free to do so. And as always, guys, as I always say, we know how to get this stream out properly, right? I love it. Thank you. And I'm waiting for the stream to say it first. Forgot there's like a 60-second delay. And thank you.